Well. Isn't it interesting, everyone? 2 or 3 days ago, they broke a story on the Hollywood Reporter that Daisy Ridley's Rey would be everywhere connected to Star Wars. This film, that film. She's going to be the heartbeat of Star Wars, and she's so desperately needed. They went down this vibe. Now, I knew what was going on once that leaked out. Access Media is owned by the industry. Everything that happens is purposeful. It's all about damage control. I knew then they would cancel the Rey movie, and I've been trying to tell people on X and all over the place, that that's what's going to happen. Not only that, I've already predicted that they're going to Nick Fury her. In other words, that movie is cancelled, but she's still got a contract. What do they do with that contract? They've paid her. They have to use her now. Right. I feel sorry for Daisy, by the way. I love Daisy. She's a really cool person, and she's being used as a pawn in a game. It's simply not fair, but this is how actors are treated. She was on the BBC doing an interview yesterday talking about this movie that made her look like an idiot. What's actually happened is they've removed the Rey movie off the schedule, I think, for 2026, right? I think that's when it was supposed to be released. And now what they're doing is they've scheduled, what's it called? Ice Age 6. Now, I'm a big fan of the Ice Age franchise, by the way. So Ice Age 6 is replacing Daisy Ridley's Rey movie. So, very, very predictable. So another announcement, and then it's cancelled. It's a joke. Now, I've been talking about Tony Gilroy for a very long time. I think Tony Gilroy would be perfect as a co-CEO of Lucasfilm with Kathleen Kennedy, or to replace her. He's doing a great job with Andor. I'm not saying that that's had a lot of attention or a lot of success in terms of viewers, but it's better Star Wars than we've had in a very long time. I wouldn't say it feels like Star Wars. It's very, very grounded, but at least it has a point of interest to it. And so I think their next move now is to have Rey here, Rey there, Rey everywhere. But she's not going to have her own movie, and she's not going to spend a lot of time on these movies or streaming shows. As I say, it's just going to be a Tony Stark-like cameo or a Nick Fury-type cameo in early MCU. And this is why the Hollywood Reporter report came out the other day. It was so obvious. It was so obvious something was going on from that. And now we know that they've taken Daisy Ridley's Rey Skywalker Palpatine, whatever you want to call her, Star Wars movie, off the schedule. That won't happen. That movie will never happen. It's like what they did when they took the not Daredevil, what's it called? Blade, that's it. They took Blade off the schedule, right? Then Feige the other day said, we're still planning on introducing Mahershala Ali's Blade into the MCU. Still happening. Did you notice the clever choice of words? He didn't say we're still making his film. He said he will still appear in the MCU because he's got a contract. So again, they're going to Nick Fury, Tony Stark, the hell out of him. That's the plan. They failed to make a movie. They've tried. Obviously, the actor isn't happy with them. He's around 50 years old, and I think that Wesley Snipes around 58. And I think the smart money's on now. Ryan Reynolds getting his own way, and Wesley Snipes being the Blade of the MCU. I can see Feige stepping down as, the guy running Marvel Studios very soon. And I think it's pretty obvious to anyone. And if you're the new Disney CEO, you're saying, well, Ryan Reynolds just made $1 billion movie. And then you've got this situation of the female Silver Surfer. People are not happy. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. People ain't happy. Pascal is doing everything. He's everywhere, isn't he? But people are not happy about that casting. And I can see now, at first I thought Fantastic Four could be a big movie, even make more money than James Gunn's Superman. But I think it's clear now that's another incoming disaster for, Marvel, Disney, Marvel, whatever you want to call it. And in terms of the MCU and the female Silver Surfer, look, I knew nothing was going to change. It's been the MCU. It's still going to be the MCU just because the Russo brothers are coming back. That's an interesting situation. Does the Russo brothers coming back for those 2 Avengers movies save the day? Does Robert Downey Jr., coming back as another character, if that's actually what he's doing, playing Doctor Doom? I'm not convinced he actually really is Doctor Doom, but we will see. But I still think that could end up as a disaster as well. But apart from the Russos coming back, it's still the same people from the MCU, the same creatives making all the stuff on TV, on streaming, and in movies, apart from the Russos doing those 2 Avengers movies. So I think it's a little bit still very disastrous from the MCU. But in terms of Star Wars is in a worse position. Lucasfilm is in a worse position than Marvel Studios. Look, we've been saying it for a long time. Kennedy has to go. The problem is, if Kennedy goes, will they bring in a like-minded person? This is Disney. They don't seem to be learning their lesson. Hopefully, with a new CEO comes new ideas, because Iger is even selling most of his shares. So it's clear they're looking to go down another direction. And they have to, because they're in a lot of trouble. They can talk about their high Disney Plus numbers, blah, blah, blah. It's all garnish. It's not really true. Everything in the garden isn't rosy. And just funny for me to see the Hollywood Reporter spinning the narrative with Rey being everywhere and being so important. And then a few days later, they take her movie off the schedule. So in other words, she's not important. They're now stuck with her. They've given her a contract, and now she has to appear somewhere. So this is why they're spinning that narrative that Rey's really important. She's not important, but someone has to come in and take over Lucasfilm that isn't a damn maniac. Because right now, they have a maniac, a crazy person running Lucasfilm.